Okay, so question number 15. Write two inequalities that this number line represents. So this would be a number line that represents one of those OR, compound inequalities that have an OR. Okay? So pick a variable. I don't care what variable it is. And we have a -2. Same variable, and we have a 4. Okay? So we see our two numbers that we have. Now we have to think about our symbols. So for this symbol, we have that arrow shaded in, and we have an open circle. So can it be equal? No. Over here, we have this arrow shaded in, but this is a closed circle, so it can be equal. So that is our answer right here. Now, you can have the word or, even better. X is less than -2, or X is greater than or equal to 4. Any questions about that one? All right, let's look at question number 16. Question 16 wants you to solve this problem that has the absolute value sign in there. So the way that we solve this problem, 3w minus 5 can equal 7, or 3w minus 5 can equal -7. And now we're going to solve them both separately. So solving this one over here on the left, I'm going to add 5 first, giving me 3w equals 12, so w equals 4. Over there, add 5. I get 3w equals -2, divide by 3, so w equals -2/3. Let's look at question 17. Question 17 says, which inequality matches the graph A or B? So you have a 50-50 chance here, even if you just guess, but let's not just guess. Here is my recommendation on this problem. The easiest thing to do is to take one of the numbers that's on your number line that it's showing that it could equal, and plugging it in, substituting it in to both inequalities and seeing which one is true. Now the easiest number is the 0. So let's take that 0 and put it in for the m. So the absolute value of 0 plus 2 would equal what? 2. And is 2 greater than or equal to 6? No. Let's make sure over here on B it works though. So if we said the absolute value of 0 plus 2, which you just said was 2, is it less than or equal to 6? Yes. So our choice is B. So on this problem, we want to substitute in. That's going to be the easiest way. You could use any number that occurs on the shaded in part. Okay? The shaded in part. I would not choose a negative number, because why? I would choose a positive number, and the easiest one is 0. But you can choose any of them within those two dots. All right, question 18. Write the expression, the quantity of a number minus 6 divided by 7. So a number, this is where we put in a variable. I'm going to use n as my variable because it says number. So a number minus 6 divided by 7. That's it. You're not solving it, you're just writing that expression. Well, quantity means like the answer to n minus 6 would be divided by 7. So that's how you'd want it to look. Question? His question was, can you write it like this? If you write it like this, you have to have parentheses. But I'm telling you, this is going to be multiple choice, and on your test, it's written like the way I have it. Because for algebra, you don't usually see that division sign written like that. Other questions? Those are both really good questions. All right. Number 19. The sum of two consecutive even integers is 98. What are the two integers? So some people ask me about the word consecutive. Consecutive means it comes one right after another. And we're talking about even numbers, like 4 and 8. Those would be consecutive even numbers. And the sum of 4 and 8 would be 12. So obviously that's not it. So let's say that n is one of our numbers. And then the next even number would be plus 2. Because again, if we use the numbers 6 and 8, wouldn't that make sense? 6 and then plus 2 more would give you that 8. All right. So if we said one number plus the next consecutive even number equals 98. Now some of you probably figured it out a different way, the non-algebra way, which is fine. You can figure it out your own way. This is not the only way, okay? So I have 2 n's plus 2 equals 98 because it's the next consecutive even integer. If it was the next consecutive integer, I would just add 1. Again, let's say this number is 6, so the next one would be 8. I don't know who asked that question, but... So this would be minus 2, so 2n equals 96. And then divide by 2, you get 48. So one number is 48. The other number, plus 2, would be 50. There they are. 48 and 50 give you 98. 48 plus 2. Now, if you don't like this way and you want another way, here's another way you could solve this. 2 numbers added together to get 98. So what I did, I took 98 divided by 2, and I got 49. But that's obviously an odd number. 49 plus 49 would give me 98. So I thought, oh, one number less and one number more. 48 and 50 would give me 98 also. That works. Absolutely. That's kind of the non-algebra way. That's just like a problem-solving way. That's fine. You don't have to work it out just the algebra way just because this is algebra class. All right, let's look at number 20. Now, number 20 through 25, these are like fill-in-the-blank type questions, okay? So 1 through 19, multiple choice. 20 through 25, fill-in-the-blank. So the length of a rectangle is 3 inches more than its width. The perimeter is 26 inches. Find the dimensions. So we're talking about a rectangle. We have length and we have width. The length of the rectangle is 3 inches more than its width. The perimeter is 26. How do we find perimeter? Add up all the sides. So length plus width, right? So the technical formula is perimeter equals 2 times L plus 2 times W. We don't know what L or W is. We know what the perimeter is. And we only want one variable. So the reason that they tell us that the length is 3 more than the width, we're going to write this as 3 plus W plus 3. So again, the length is 3 more than the width. So I'm rewriting the length as this right here. So 26 equals 2 times W plus 3 plus 2 times W. Because again, I only want one variable in this problem. And it's telling me that the length is 3 more than the width. So that's why I wrote it as W plus 3. Now work this out. 2W plus 6 plus 2W. So 4W plus 6. Subtract your 6, you get 20 equals 4W. So W equals 5. W equals 5. So length equals... This is 5, so yes, this is 8. And you can check it. 5 plus 5 plus 8 plus 8, that would give you 10 plus 16, whoops, which is 26. Are there other ways to do it? Sure there are. But this is the algebra way to do it. So if you can figure out this problem another way, go for it. That's problem-solving skills, and that's fine. Moving on to question number 21. The equation below was solved incorrectly. Identify the mistake and then correctly solve the equation. So, what is the first thing that they did? And this is the problem. What did they do in the first step? They distributed. So did they distribute correctly? Negative 2 times m, yes. Negative 2 times negative 9 is positive 18? Yes. Everything's good in the first step. Then, they got rid of this negative 2m. How do you get rid of negative 2m? You add 2m. And if you add 2m over here, are you going to end up with 6m? No. So this is where they made their mistake. Did incorrect inverse operation. Or you could say they subtracted 2m instead of adding 2m. That's fine. So now let's correctly solve the problem. So if we add 2m here, we're going to end up with 10m plus 8 equals 18. So subtract 8 from each side. 10m equals 10. So m equals 1. Questions on this problem? Okay. Almost done. Question number 22. Kathy works at a car lot. Kathy earns $500 per week plus $150 for every car she sells. Write an inequality that can be used to determine the number of cars, C, Kathy must sell in 1 week to earn a minimum of $1,200 for that week. All right, so Kathy gets $500 just for showing up to work. Plus, that's called a commission. When you sell something and then earn bonus money, it's called a commission. Plus $150 for every car she sells, and we're using C for cars. So if she sold 100 cars, it'd be 150 times 100. It's probably not going to happen, though. Now, she wants to earn a minimum of $1,200. We need to figure out an inequality sign to put in the middle there. Can it be equal to 1,200? Yes, to be a minimum, it can be equal to 1,200, or we'd want it to be greater than 1,200. So that would be the symbol that you would want to use. That's important that you're choosing the correct inequality symbol there. So the next thing that we want to do in question number 23, which I'm going to, if it's okay with you, I'm just going to do kind of 23 on this same page, is we want to actually figure out how many cars that would be, right? So let's solve this. The first thing you would do is what? Subtract 500. So 150C is greater than or equal to 700. Now what? Divide by 150. Can you use a calculator on this test? Yes. I'll get those out in a second. So C is greater than or equal to, it's like 4 point something, right? I think it's 4.6. Can she sell 0.6 cars? No. So she has to sell at least 5 cars. Yes, you round on this. All right, so we've already done 23. So I'm going to skip over 23. And then 24. 24 and 25 go together, right? It's the same type of problem. Allie sells paintings. It costs Allie $2 to buy each canvas. Allie also pays $100 a month to rent an art studio space. Allie sells each painting for $15. Write an inequality that can be used to determine the number of paintings, P, Allie must sell each month in order to make a profit for the month. So again, write an inequality, it says. So, doesn't she need a canvas for every painting she makes? All right, so that'd be $2 times P. Now you can have 2.00, that's fine. Plus, another thing that she's paying each month is to rent that studio space, which is $100. She's selling them for $15 for each painting. Now let's really think about this, how we want our inequality sign to be. She needs to be making more money, or it says, write an inequality that can be used to determine the number of paintings Allie must sell each month in order to make a profit. In order to make a profit. In order to make a profit. Breaking even would be equal. So 25 is asking you to solve this to figure out how many paintings that really would be, okay? So subtract your 2p. Divide by 13. And that was 7 point something. Now I'm going to switch this around here, okay? She can't sell 0.7 paintings, so we're going to say 8 paintings. If you're unsure, take your 8 paintings and put it back in here. Make sure that makes sense. 2 times 8 plus 100, that's going to be 16 plus 100, $116. That's going to be out of pocket. 15 times 8, is this going to be more? Absolutely, this is going to be $120. She's only making $4 profit, but that's how many minimum she has to sell. She's going to want to sell more than 8 paintings a month, right? Well, if she sold 80 paintings, think about how much money she'd make. You don't know how many paintings $15 is not much for a painting. All right, question.